Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers, it's Jan here. Jessica Jones, the wisecracking, hard-drinking, private investigating superhero, is back for a kick-ass second season, and with Avengers Infinity War just around the corner, the show has some awesome Easter eggs and teasers for the Avengers' epic showdown with Thanos. Plus there are some cool deep-cut Marvel references which I'll be explaining. My new Marvel giveaway is also starting for all my subscribers, so keep watching and I'll have more details on that later. Obviously there are some spoilers for season 2, so take care if you're not caught up. There are some great hat tips to Avengers Infinity War, previous Marvel movie team-ups and the comics when Jessica lets herself into Oscar's apartment to look for clues only to find his young son Vito awake.
Do you have any cool toys in your room you want to show me?
Do you know Captain America? I've got his action figure, but I lost the shield. So I made him a new one. How about myself? I just glued a magnet to it so it looks like the real one. Cap's shield is cooler, but this one doesn't have to take down any aliens, so it'll do.
There's quite a lot of references here, so let's break them down. Vito's holding a Captain America figure dressed in what looks like his classic colours, which we saw him wear in Civil War. This isn't the first time we've seen how popular Cap is with kids in Jessica's world, as in season 1 we saw a young child wearing a Captain America costume in the park, when Jessica first tried to abduct Kilgrave. Back to this season, Vito's line about losing Cap's shield is a delightful nod to the fact that Captain America abandoned his shield at the end of Civil War following his full-on battle with Iron Man.
That shield doesn't belong to you. You don't deserve it. My father made that shield.
But Vito's words are also a shout out to Avengers Infinity War, where we'll likely see Cap without a shield for a period of time.
And get this man a shield.
But thanks to a certain genius by the name of Shuri and some super cutting-edge Wakandan tech, Infinity War will also debut Cap's epic new arm shields. And frankly, I cannot wait. By the way, I talk in detail about Cap's new gauntlets, including how they compare to the comics in my video about Cap's new shield. Now, the fact that Vito has created a replacement shield for his Captain America figure using a magnet is also a hat tip to both the MCU and the comics, where we've seen Cap throw his shield around and call it back using magnetic elements. Vito also says that Cap's real shield is cooler than the one he's made and adds, but this one doesn't have to take down any aliens. Well, if Vito loves Cap's multicolored shield, which he used to kick alien Chitauri butt in the first Avengers movie, just wait till he gets an eyeful of his new monochrome shield in action in Infinity War, where it will most definitely be used to take down some major alien threats from the likes of Thanos' Black Order and those four-armed creatures called Outriders. And then there's Vito's question to Jessica, do you know Captain America? Jessica's hesitation in replying here is a hint to the comics. The MCU's Jessica certainly does know of Steve Rogers in the Avengers, just like the rest of New York. For example, in season 1 she referred to the flag waver and the big green guy. But it's in Marvel's comics where Jessica Jones actually does know Captain America personally. In early issues of the Alias comics, Jessica inadvertently captures Captain America's secret identity on film while she's on a case for a client. When she realizes she's been set up to catch Cap on camera, Jessica keeps the tape safe until she can hand it over to Steve Rogers himself, who praises her for helping him and tells her to get in touch if she needs anything or decides to be a superhero again. And in the What If series, Jessica not only joined the Avengers, but she actually ended up marrying Steve Rogers. On top of that, in certain comics, the mantle of Captain America is taken on by Jessica's daughter with Luke Cage, Danielle.
If you say with great power comes great responsibility, I swear I'll throw up on you.
Jessica also drops several sardonic references to Spider-Man during season 2, including plays on the line with great power comes great responsibility.
You're always saying how powers are good, but you were wrong. With great power comes great mental illness.
And puns on Peter Parker's Spidey sense.
I know she's in trouble.
Because of your scroty sense.
Goddamn right.
Of course, Spider-Man is part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now, but even before his first MCU appearance in Civil War, the creators of Jessica Jones were already sneaking Easter eggs to the web-crawling superhero into their first season. Yes, if you look really carefully, you can see an ice cream cart which was selling Spider-Man ice cream. As for this season's more overt shout-outs to Spidey, they're a callback to Jessica's comic book history with our friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man. Given TV Jessica's sarcastic tone when she talks about Spidey, it's actually quite funny that in the comics her dad didn't seem to have a very high opinion of the young web-slinger either. As for Jessica's various mentions of Spider-Man's famous mantra in the show, that has a special significance if you dive back into the comics. In the books, after Jessica got her superpowers, it was seeing Spidey take on the villainous Sandman at her school that inspired her to become a hero like him. And when she tells Spidey what an enormous impact he had on her life, he shares with her the saying that he lives his life by: "With great power there must also come great responsibility." Jessica then tells him that she'll teach the meaning of those words to her daughter Danielle, who, as I mentioned earlier, in some comics grows up to take on the role of Captain America. And in addition to that, it's Spider-Man who encourages Jessica to go back to being a superhero again.
Well, I was buying whiskey at this liquor store and this guy came in. And he was all jumpy and dope sick and I knew he was there to rob the place.
Because of her Spidey sense?
I don't have Spidey sense.
And that's far from the only connection between Peter Parker and Jessica in the comics, as not only did they go to the same high school, but she also had quite a crush on him. In fact, she was about to ask him out when things started to go radioactive for Peter. Now, while it would be fun to see Tom Holland's new Spider-Man swing through Jessica Jones's TV world, we're very unlikely to ever see that happen. However, given the pair's rich history in the comics, I'm sure we'll get plenty more Spidey-related references like the ones I've talked about here in future shows. And Jessica Jones doesn't just limit its connections to the Marvel movie universe, but it also has plenty of references to Marvel's Netflix shows. When one of the cops interrogating Jess says, "I know you people like to team up," it's a nod to Jessica's last appearance in The Defenders, where she joined forces with Daredevil, Luke Cage and Iron Fist against the Hand. Plus, it's also a callback to the first season of Jessica Jones, where she worked together with Luke Cage, who offered his support again to her at the very end of the Defenders series.
Try staying in touch, Jess. You got friends. One of them is in Harlem.
And the cop's words also foreshadow Alyssa's suggestion to Jessica that they team up to do good, and the way they work together to save the family whose car crashed with a truck carrying chemicals, as happened to Jessica's family in the comics. On top of that, the cop's line about superhero team-ups is also a wink to the Avengers movies, as well as various incarnations of the Avengers in the comic books, some of which featured Jessica Jones as part of the famous group of superheroes. Oh, and when Jessica's former boyfriend Sterling finds out that her middle name is Campbell, that's a hat tip to the comics, where Jessica's original surname was Campbell until she was adopted by the Jones family after her biological family died in a car accident. Speaking of Sterling, one of the guys who threatens him wears a necklace with the number 23 on it and asks about Jessica, can she fly? Which is a clear shout out to the issue 23 of Alias, where Jessica starts to fly but ends up crash landing in the river, though later she flies again and manages to stop a robbery by the former PI turned villain, the Scorpion. Now, what did you think of Season 2 of Jessica Jones, and did you spot any other cool MCU or comic book Easter eggs? Be sure to leave me a comment with your thoughts and subscribe for your chance to win a cool Marvel Funko Pop. The winner from my last Marvel giveaway is on screen now, so if that's you, private message me with your details so I can send out your prize. And while you're waiting for my next Marvel video, tap the screen to check out my latest theories, Easter eggs and superhero videos. Thanks for watching and see you next time, yippee-ki-yay movie lovers!